I'd like to start off my speech with a little song that hopefully all of you guys know. Okay, I think you guys get the point. That was Take Me Home Country Roads by John Denver. And hopefully this song has made you guys feel happy and just I feel like everyone knows this song and feels connected to this song. So you should keep that in mind for the rest of the speech, that it is a country song about dirt roads and that most people like. And most people don't feel this way about a lot of country songs. A lot of people have a negative image on country and there's a negative stereotype about it. If someone says they like country music, a lot of people don't agree with them and just turn on EDM or other types of music. So in this speech, I will be persuading you guys to like country music and to change your stereotype about it. So first I'll explain how many people listen to country music, and then I'll explain why this problem and stereotype exists, and finally I'll give solutions to end the stereotype. So is country music actually popular? A lot of Americans, when asked what type of music they listen to, say any type of music except for country. This starts the idea that people don't actually really like country music that much and it's actually not that popular. However, this actually isn't the case. Billboard stated at the Country Music Summit that out of 25,000 US residents, 42% of them like country music. So this is a little less than half of the population who listens to country music. So there's definitely more people who listen to country than you might think. And the country music listeners have power and influence in pop culture and in economy. And what they listen to and how they spend their money, it matters. So Fuson from Billboard stated that, and I quote, "The country music fan looks like the average US population, but the best thing to know is they come in all ages, income brackets, and markets. The country music fan has spending power. We have a vast opportunity to reach them in so many ways that fit into their lifestyle." End quote. So this quote kind of just talks about how they're trying to appeal more to the country listeners because they do have influence and there's more of them than you might think. Another stereotype people have is that only a certain type of people listen to country music, and it's not all around. But as this quote stated, the country music comes in all type of forms, and there's a lot of different listeners than just the stereotypical country listener. And country music has only gotten more popular. There's artists like Morgan Wallen and Zach Bryan who are trying to change this stereotype about country and who are definitely making it more mainstream. So in 2023, The Economist stated that, and I quote, 36% of the streams of Spotify's top 50 songs in America have been country songs in 2023, and in 2016 it was just 2%, end quote. So this shows how dramatic country music is increasing and how it's becoming vastly more popular now, and it increased over 30% in not that many years. So it's just showing how the stereotype is changing and how different artists are working to make it change. So these pictures are just at the Billboard Music Festival. So I just talked about how many people actually listen to country, and now I'll talk about the stereotype and why it's a thing. So a lot of people have a stereotype that country music is just about dirt roads, beer, trucks, and it doesn't really have a lot of substance to it. And this actually started after 9/11. Country music started to be more about patriotism and nationalism, and it tried to unite the country. So according to the Daily Tar Heel, quote, "We began to see an uptick in lyrics concerning small towns, four-door Chevy trucks, Budweiser, Levi's blue jeans, and Marlboros. Symbols like these became central to American patriotism," end quote. So this just explains that country music went this way after 9/11 and how this is the stereotype that it is today. And a lot of people started listening to country after 9/11 just to unify the country, but then it created the stereotype, so then people stopped listening to it because the next generation started labeling country music as surface level and not that deep. Another problem is people have very strong opinions about country. A lot of them either love it or hate it, and the people who hate it are pretty strong in their beliefs. So the people who are in the middle and haven't really listened to country music might automatically just go to they hate it, even if they haven't really listened to it. And a lot of country music artists are changing the stereotype. So in Zach Bryan's song Someday Maggie's, he sings, "Someday I will come to my senses, stop sitting on fences in fear, and I will realize after all of this time that someday was always just right here." So this is obviously like deeper than just like fear and trucks. And another example of that is Morgan Wallen's "Don't Think Jesus" song. And he sings, "If I was him, I'd say, to hell with you, ain't no helping you. Find someone else to give heaven to, I'm telling you. But I don't think Jesus does it that way." So this is a deep song about religion, and it has a lot of emotion in it. And it's not just a stereotypical country song. So a lot of country artists are like changing the perception and stereotype about it. Now that I've talked about the problem, I'll talk about some of the solutions. One of the solutions is just to learn more about country music and the origins and where it came from, because a lot of people who don't like country don't actually know a lot about it. And the second is to be confident in your beliefs, and if you do like country music, then you should not be afraid to say that, and don't be scared for people who just strongly hate it, because there's probably more country listeners than you think. And obviously the third solution is to listen to country music, and I have some recommendations because I feel like I know a little bit about country. So if you're into older music or rock music, you can listen to artists like George Strait or Waylon Jennings or Whiskey Myers, which is a newer one. And if you're into artists like Noah Kahan or the Lumineers, you can listen to Zach Bryan, Tyler Childers, Wyatt Flores, and Spotify has a lot of good playlists about country, so you should definitely give it a shot. And overall in this speech, I talked about why country music has a stigma and a stereotype, and why it's hated on. And I've explained that there's a lot of country music listeners, and there's probably more than you think. And I've explained why this problem has happened and why the stereotype has happened. And then I've given some solutions to listen to country music.